I bring vibes on a club night. Keep the crowd hyped up for the party red. She wanna say words in my earlobe. Reminds me there's an hour of the party left. See the fireworks, celebration. Team winning the great goose, amazing. Send them Jaeger bombs, I got a craving. So many women, I don't wanna stop raving. They should know I got tunes for the gal them. Once the ladies are dancing, the man them reach. They wanna leave there with a number. Check the painting, she's gonna hang with me. I'm skanking, all round the party, I'm skanking. I got girls to the left and girls to the right. When we're at the bar, we ain't rapping.
He called me on the iPhone. He said, get my passport, told me to come through. Put your sun cream in your suitcase. When I arrive, I'm causing a heat wave too. Got my snapback and my vest on, looking at the hot girl with the red dress on. Light skin with a beautiful body like Kim, so I had to get my Kanye West on. She told me she's feeling my jewelry. She said that she's in love with my Jesus piece. I told her to look again closely. It's not Jesus, baby, it's JME. And I was like, baby, come over. I don't bite, girl, come a little closer. Come a little closer. I don't bite, girl, come a little closer.
I don't usually party, but Skepta and Wiley said it's a hype. I can't find my phone or my car keys. Liza B. Tafari said on the mic, the vibe is off the Richter, and I can't even tweet a picture. I'm on the dance floor, the joke is I never had a drink, but I'm acting the drunkest. She's staring like I'm a weirdo, or then again maybe she likes me. I'm not supposed to be here though, haven't got a wristband for the VIP. No AAA pass, but I'm partying with the stars. Yep, I can't complain, I just enjoy it while it lasts.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to McCown Field for tonight's conference contest between the Catawba College, Catawba Indians, and the Carson-Newman Eagles. A reminder that Carson-Newman and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are ground for removal from the site of competition. Also, the consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages at the site of competition is prohibited. Now, let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First, for the Catawba Indians of Catawba College. Number 0, Giancarlo Tomasi. Number 5, Alijo Bavasti. Number 6, Andy Twelmley. Number 7, Malik Wilkes. Number 11, Simone Tritton. Number 15, Joe Allerton. Number 18, Nico Scherzer. Number 23, Gage Bernard. Number 25, Solano Birch. Number 27, Nate Burns. And number 28, Nico Monreal. Catawba is led by head coach Ken Hassler. And now, introducing the starting lineup for the Carson Carson-Newman Eagles. Number 3, Niels Berman. Number 5, Harry Whitehead. Number 8, Theo Hardenby Orwell. Number 9, Yannick Franz. Number 10, Kylan Silva. Number 12, Greg Evans. Number 21, Tim Vercelli. Number 22, James Cody. Number 24, Eric Schnitzer. Number 36, Gabe Martin. And number 77, Bram Karstein. Carson-Newman is led by head coach Stephen Lyons. He's assisted by David Baston, Lucas Gross Carpendale, and Joe Boyd. At this time, fans, we ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
And good afternoon, good evening from a beautiful Mossy Creek as we have a first of our soccer doubleheader between the Carson-Newman Eagles and the visiting Catawba College Catawba Indians from Salisbury, North Carolina. Big time South Atlantic Conference action tonight. Richard Martin here for the Eagles Sports Network, welcoming you in as we get set for what should be a dandy of a contest between the lads of Carson-Newman and the boys from Catawba. We'll get you started first with your starting lineups for both teams. First, for our visitors from Catawba College, you have Alejo Buzrovsky, Andrew Twomley, Malik Wilkes, Simone Trenton. That's who the Eagles will need to watch out for on offense. He's tied in first in the sack, in assists, and in shots. Also have Joseph Alaron, Nico Scharinger, Gage Bernard, Solano Birch, Nate Burns, and Nico Monreal. In goal for the Catawba College Catawba Indians, that is number 0, Gianluca Tomasi. And Carson-Newman's starting lineup, an historic day for this starting lineup as Bram Karsgaren in goal moves into a tie for a big-time record in starts by just appearing on the pitch. In goal for the Eagles, we have Niels Berman, Harry Whitehead, Theo Hardenby Orwell, Yannick Franz, Dylan Silva, who's had a heck of a season so far, Greg Evans, Tim Vercelli, James Cody makes his second start of the season, along with Eric Schmutzer and Gabe Martin. Referees are ready. Carson will get the ball first, wearing the white kits, yellow or orange trim, and blue pants. Catawba in the all navy with red sleeves, white numbers, and the white stripes on the side. Clock is set, and here we go. First 45 underway inside of McCown Field between these two South Atlantic Conference teams. Catawba College looking for their first win of the season in the SAC as they had a draw against Anderson. They've had 2 straight draws. Started off the year 4-0, outscoring their opponents 9-2. They recently have been tied 5-5, thrilling 4-4 contest against the Converse University Valkyries. And then a draw against the Anderson Trojans in their first conference game. Meanwhile, Carson-Newman on a roll, winning 2 straight conference victories, including knocking off the Wingate Bulldogs in Matthews for the first time since 2007 with a 3-1 victory. And how about Ben King and Tim Vercelli with their first career goals in that game? And Tylen Silva scored his 5th goal of the season. That ties him 3rd in the sack, and Tylen Silva has a chance on a breakaway here. Gives it up long, and across the side, it's going to be an offsides call on number 5, Harry Whitehead. So Tylen Silva looking for an assist right there, and that could put him into the top 5. He is 1 assist away from tying Patrick Olaleri for 5th in program history for career assists. He has 15 entering this contest. And, of course, Silva is already tied for 1st in penalty kicks made and attempted penalty kicks. He tied that record against Mars Hill with his game winner as that ball goes long back to Karsgarin. Well, Karsgarin, we talked about his record that he broke. Literally all he had to do was step onto the field and start. Did not have to play, just had to be listed as a starter and step onto the field. And now he ties Twan Verwai for 6th most goalkeeper starts in school history with 32. And if the Eagles pull out a victory tonight, he will move into sole possession and 4th most wins all time with 20. So he's currently at 19 in a tie with Kavi Lushawa. Right now, the Eagles are looking to get some offense going, so Karsgarin can pull off that feat. Here's Martin. Feeds it long to Silva. Silva tries to find Whitehead. Whitehead 1-on-1 to goalie. Whitehead bounces in. Harry Whitehead has the goal, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Eagles. Big-time assist for Tylen Silva. He ties that record, and Harry Whitehead. Right place, right time, 1-on-1 with the keeper. Puts it in, ricochets off, and rolls in. Harry Whitehead's got the scoring started in Jefferson City. And Catawba going off to the races to try to get the scoring started on their end quickly as well. So Harry Whitehead with the goal. We said Tylen Silva, we were on assist watch for him, and now he is tied for 5th in program history with career assists. That's number 16 for the young man from Brazil. So a heck of a start for the Eagles, up 1-0, less than 3 minutes into the match. Now the Eagles looking to add again. Looks like the Eagles going to may back up a little bit here, and they've got their 1-0 lead and look to hold on to it. Feed from Silva, and that one stepped in front of by Catawba. It's eventually going to be poked around. Silva challenges, picked up by Berman, and we'll go out to midfield back to Hardin B. Orwell. Martin at midfield. Feeds it long. He was looking for Whitehead again, and it goes to Tomasi. Interesting to see Tomasi in goal. He got pulled in their last matchup against Anderson at halftime. I don't know if it was injuries. There's a foul there committed by Hardin B. Orwell. So we find is Monreal. So the Catawba Indians will go quickly here. Good battle for the ball between Wilkes and eventually won by Berman and Orwell. Wilkes is the speedster on this team, 5'7", 145. He is quick on the outside and will look to get something going here for the Catawba College Catawba Indians. Back up to Berman. Berman feeds it long, goes between the legs of Whitehead, and it's eventually picked up by Monreal. Monreal kicks it out up off the feet of Trenton, who gives it up back to Monreal, stolen away by Evans. Evans feeds it to Silva. Silva now looking for Whitehead again. Whitehead comes out. Whitehead past the goalie. Whitehead just slips, and the ball will go out of play. That was a great chance for Whitehead, but couldn't quite get it done. Catawba reset. We're talking about Tomasi against Anderson. It was pulled at halftime. Got this interesting decision. Not sure if he was hurt or what happened there. Zach Stifler came in, and they were down 1-0 to the Trojans, but Solano Birch scored a tying goal in the 86th minute off the Trenton assist to keep the point for Catawba. No foul called on Whitehead. So a rough play from Monreal. Monreal's been banged up a bit. Nice move to the cheers of the Carson-Newman women's team. They'll play afterwards here in McCown Field. Up to Wilkes, and they're going to call a foul on Berman there. A little shove from behind. Good call by referee crew. Catawba College will look quickly. 38-48. Here's a quick look again. Yeah, just step two inside there was Berman. Great look from our camera crew today. And a busy day, of course, here at Carson-Newman. Volleyball knocks off UVA Wise 3-0. 3-0. Nil more of a soccer term. With a sweep over the Cavaliers, but unfortunately, football could not have the same luck with the Highland Cavaliers, falling out on the road at UVA Wise 33-7. A chance here for two more victories picked up by the Eagles tonight. Throw in for the Eagles, looking to get another goal on the board here. Already up 1-0 thanks to the assist from Silva to Harry Whitehead. Silva gets the ball, pass it back to Cody. Eagles bouncing the ball around. They've gotten chances, but just been close, but no cigar yet for a second goal. As this team likes to attack constantly. They do not choose to park the bus. They choose to attack. That's what's led them to success at times this year, but it's also led to the detriment. Erskine, his final score is 6-2. Erskine only had 2 shots on goal really the entire game, and because of that, the Flying Fleet were able to drop 2 goals in. Including one late that really didn't mean a whole lot, but still, it's not one you would like to see if you're Coach Stephen Lyons. Now here's Silva. Silva goes outside. Nice move by Silva, but where's he going to go with it? Silva tries to get a challenge, tries to get a goal kick, but it rolls to the keeper. That was great defensive work by Nate Burns of Catawba College. A 1-0 lead for the Eagles. Just about 9 minutes. That's a foul on Catawba College. A little bit of a shove there, but Eagles will retain possession. Haven't seen any chances yet for Catawba College in this one. So we're about 10 minutes in. Again, 3 minutes into the game. Now a chance that was long, and it looks like Silva was looking for, I believe, Whitehead again to try to get the tying or get another goal and make it 2-0. Ball bounce around and stay at midfield. Ball's really stayed on the right side of the pitch if you're watching on television monitor toward the MSAC. That's what Carson-Newman likes to do on offense. Keep the pressure on and make Catawba play some defense. It's picked off, and they're going to call a little foul on Carson-Newman, a little shove to Birch. Good feed. Now a chance for Kronz. It goes out play, and the ball will stay with the Eagles. Got Kronz, a guy who's really stepped up this season for the Eagles. Oh, it's fed in from. So he goes out to Silva. Silva will give it up to Evans. Evans trying to feed it inside. Misses Hardenby Orwell. That's a headed away by Allerton. Called by the Eagles. Silva, a one-timer. Back to Hardenby Orwell. Oh, and it was a great play set up, but could not get that great defensive work from Zrowski. Now Wilkes. Wilkes sends it long, and that's really the first chance you've seen today for Catawba. Looking for Simone Trenton. Trenton, of course, leads, are tied for conference lead in shots. 31 coming into this game. 13 of those have been on goal, 2 goals and 4 assists. So Catawba has the second most goals in the South Atlantic Conference, 14, and are 20th in the nation in scoring as that ball goes long, and Tomasi will grab it. Ball goes back to Tomasini. The Eagles will try to score again. Evans handles the ball. Ball goes out of play, and it'll belong to Catawba College. So pressure on still for the Eagles, and able to get chances. So we're roughly about to the 15-minute mark. Only 2 shots, Carson-Newman. Now 1 on goal was Whitehead's. 3 fouls, 1 on Catawba College, 3 fouls on the Eagles, 1 corner, and 1 offsides call. Both the shots have been by Harry Whitehead. So Whitehead early and often looks to be the guy the Eagles are going to feed today. As they feed into Whitehead, he's stuck in the corner. Gets it out wide. And be kicked out toward Evans. Evans looking to set somebody up here and just trying to feed it into a speeding Vercelli. Vercelli now 1-on-1. Goes long with Vercelli, and Ben King, of course, scored their first career goals against the Wingate Bulldogs in a thrilling 3-1 victory. The first win for the Eagles in Matthews in 14 years. 4 in the side. Wingate, of course, also was a team that eliminated the Eagles from the South Atlantic Conference tournament last year on this pitch. The Eagles have been very good in South Atlantic Conference in the regular season. They lost last year against LMU. There's a chance there off the feet of the. That was a quick play from Vercelli, or excuse me. That was off the feet of James Cody. Now a chance for Wilkes. Wilkes feeds it long to Burns. Burns finds Allerton. Allerton now one-on-one with Schmutzer. Schmutzer kicks it back. Great defensive work by Eagles. Now they can counterattack. R&B Orwell gives it up to Kranz. The Eagles go. And eventually ends up back to Schmutzer. Eric Schmutzer is a guy that they've been high on as Coach Lyons, and as a foul from behind by Bonreal. Bonreal going to play some mind games, going to pick the ball up, and wasting time, I think, doesn't really help Catawba College. You're over 15 minutes in, and they haven't done a whole lot to warrant the wasting of time. I think Carson-Newman at this point is like, okay, that's less time you have to score. Here's Berman to the corner, was looking for Chelly, and got out of play. Throw in quickly from Berman, back out to Gabe Martin. Silva at midfield, looking to see what he can do. Silva tries to find Hardenby Orwell, gets tackled from behind. Great steal by Trenton, and Trenton now looks to feed long. Stepping in front of it is Schmutzer. Goes up, picked up by picked up by Berman. Kranz gives it to Silva. Silva now tries to get past Burns, cannot. Kick it out wide to Cody. Eagles will have to reset, going back to Schmutzer and Evans. Counter punch after counter punch so far in this one for the Eagles and Catawba College. Catawba Indians getting that goal in the 3rd minute by Ari Whitehead. That's why it's 1-0. Hardenby Orwell up to Chelly. Goes back to Martin, eventually goes up high. It's fed up to Silva from Cody. Silva, nice feed to Whitehead. And Silva's trying to get open himself, but could not sneak behind the Catawba College defense. And so the Eagles will reset. That was a great play design. Trying a little give and go, but there's nowhere to go. Head long, and Silva can't get there before Tomasi, and that cross will be handled well. So chances for the Eagles, but only 2 shots, and the offsides. That was one of the first plays of the game. White was offsides, and Whitehead got set and was ready to go. Gabe Martin hits that one up, and the all-dangerous ball to Wilkes, and they're going to call a foul on Wilkes to reset. So the Catawba, that's one of the better chances they've had to free past this Eagles defense, but able to do so. Whitehead gives it up to Evans. Evans spies Berman, but will feed it long toward Vercelli. Vercelli gets on his horse and cannot get there and will fall almost into the fence. It's kind of just a wild pass. I think Evans at the last second, he had Berman running in stride with him, but at the last second decided that he was going to kick it long and try to get a chances. See the stats there, not a whole lot for Catawba. A lot of zeros on the board for the Catawba College, Catawba Indians, including on the scoreboard. And if Catawba can get a goal, it's going to be a very difficult task to get a goal against Carson. I believe most of the goals here at McCown Field have been on the breakaway. As chance for Whitehead, the breakaway. Good job boxing out his defender, but he gets tackled by Bzrovsky. It's fed long, down by Gabe Martin. Gabe Martin is a guy who understands how tall he is and how to use that frame. 6'2", 195 pounds, and he has used that frame well. And now here's a chance for Catawba. Birch, nice move by Birch to get by Schmutzer, and Schmutzer steps in front of it and answers. Good job by Eric Schmutzer. Stop the streaky Birch from scoring. And there's a hard foul there, and that's going to warrant a card. And that's on number 5, Alejo Bzrovsky. right here. You got to try to stop Tylen Silva, but not like that. It looks like Wazowski fell first and just kind of sideswiped Silva with his arm. It's the first yellow card of the day. Catawba College needs to be careful. Now a chance here. Ball goes long toward Berman. Berman now gives it up to Vercelli. Vercelli out to Evans. Evans going to retreat. Back to Martin. Hardenby Orwell. Hardenby Orwell has moved back to midfielder for the most part this year. It's more of a forward role as that one just gets out of bounds. Unlucky for Cody. Seen a lot of this where the Eagles are just kind of trying to work their way up as slow as they can. And Catawba needs to try to get the equalizer. And the problem for Catawba is not getting the equalizer. Again, 2 straight draws. They've had to score the final goal to get the draw in those games against Converse and Anderson. One coming as late at the 86th minute. Just haven't been able to put one in the back of the net in the overtime period. You don't want to start that streak. That streak's almost as bad as a losing streak. So you get the points, but you don't get the wins. As Silva and Burns went at it, but Silva wins that battle, but it's turned over to Bernard. Now out to Allerton, and Catawba College will try to reset, but great pressure from Evans and Vercelli. And eventually it's picked up by Berman. Swarming attack for the Eagles on defense. Evans. Nice give and go from Silva. Chance, though, for Berman gets stolen away by Wilkes, and Wilkes was looking right at Trenton and could not get it to him. Simona Trenton could not get open. Ball goes long and will belong to Tomasi. Eagle defense been stifling. No shots allowed so far in this one. 2 shots of their own, both by Harry Whitehead. And the difference maker, of course, thanks to Tylen Silva, with now moving in the top 5 all time for career assists. Beautiful pass to Harry Whitehead. Chance now for Catawba is looking to reset as we hit the about the 20-minute mark left in this first half. That's a great job by the Eagle defense, and it's eventually up to Whitehead again. Whitehead gives it off to Hardenby Orwell. Hardenby Orwell was looking for Vercelli. Great job stepping in by Nico Scharinger. pardon me, that was really now a chance. One-on-one breakaway. Carson clears it out, and they're going to call a foul on the Eagles. Sliding in hard to Simona Trenton was Carson. That was one-on-one, and Carson used all of his big frame and slid in hard on Trenton. No card, but a foul gives Catawba College their best chance. As Trenton pleads his case to the referees. Look there. Might have had a case for that one. That was just a great tackle. Actually, no foul. They're going to say that ball went out of play. It's a play on as that ball gets kicked out into the trees on the stadium. So great play by Carson to give the ball away. And now looking for a ball. It's all the way on the other side of the pitch. Catawba College will walk it up with 19-14 left. This is the best chance we've seen today for the Catawba Indians. Burns will throw it in, or excuse me, Monreal will throw it in, and it goes off the feet. He goes off the feet of Monreal. And it'll go out for a goal kick. First time Carson's been in action. Carson this year, 12 saves, 160 goals against average. Looking to, of course, move into a tie or sole possession of fourth most wins all time in a career. That'd be 20. Had a heck of a year last year. At one point had 5 straight shutouts. Silva gives up to Whitehead. Whitehead looking to do it again. Dances around the box. Gets pushed to the corner now with double team by Catawba College. Eventually picked up between Twomley and Bernard. It's kicked out free to Schmutzer. To Evans, now to Berman. He's out to Vercelli. Nice give and go, and they're going to foul on Catawba College, and might be another card. It is. It's down on number 28. So we'll look at that again. And once again, Tylen Silva grabbed by the jersey, and how many sports you can do that in? American football. That's a solid attempt at that tackle, but Silva still broke away from that. A little too high there. So that's the second yellow card. That one's on Nico Monreal. 17:48. Second yellow card of the day for Catawba College. And a free kick. The Eagles. Silva feeds it in. Gets by Vercelli off of Whitehead's head. And it'll go high. Out of play. Vercelli perfectly, as well as some substitutions coming in for the first time today. Coming in for the Eagles, it's Nick Karsh. Coming in for Vercelli. I haven't seen Nick Karsh in a while on McCown Field. As the speedster from Newburgh, Oregon, steps on to the pitch to replace Vercelli. Vercelli had a great chance at a goal off that free kick. It just went over his head, and then Whitehead could not get it down. Ball bounced in the air. Little shove from Crons to Trenton. Out to Carson, and that is almost a dangerous play. That was a nice move by Hardenby Orwell. He faked out his defender. Give and go from Crons back to Hardenby Orwell, but it's picked up by Birch. We'll give it up to Scharinger. Scharinger feeding it along to Trenton, and Trenton will be offsides. Good job to recognize by Martin. He was offsides. Trenton, the goal scorer for Catawba College. Scored the tying goal against Anderson. And I was mentioning about those draws. You don't want to get into a streak of draws. Don't want to get into an AFC Richmond-like streak of 7 draws in a row like they had to start their season. It's better than a loss because you get points, but it's It's just very frustrating to a whole lot of people when draws come in waves at times. Especially after starting 4-0. It was looking like it was going to be a bright season. Some questions having to be asked by this Catawba team who's been outscored now 6-5 in 2 games, or in 3 games, including this one. 15:32 left. Catawba College will throw this one in. Looking to get something going. Just really the one chance by Trenton on the challenge from Karsgaren. That ball goes up to Karsh. Karsh. Nifty move, feeding to the box, looking for Whitehead. It gets deflected out. Now Kronz. Kronz on Monreal. Gives it up. Wide and outside, but stumbling around are the Eagles. Gives it up back to Karsh. Monreal has turned on defensive pressure. Give and go to Kronz. That one's now handled by Cody. Back out to Silva. Silva looking for somebody, but no one could get on side. I think he was looking for Whitehead again and possibly Karsh, but both of them would have been offside. So close play and a chance for the Eagles, and eventually Tomasi will pick up the ball. 14:25 left in this first half. Glad you can join us on this beautiful day in Mossy Creek. Starting to feel like fall, as you can see the breeze blowing a bit. Temperature's not as warm. Temperature's going to dip down into the upper 50s tonight. So that women's soccer game going to be kind of chilly for the women's teams, and they play out here at approximately 7:30 tonight. Cleared along. Now there's a chance for Burns. Burns is going to be ruled offsides. So another chance for Catawba College, and slightly offsides. And Eagles now, they were rushing at first to get that ball set, but now they're going to take their time and reset. I believe they looked over toward Stephen Lyons to get the call in and reset. Again, that goal was scored in the 3rd minute. Put Carson-Newman up 1-0 again. Since then, only one other shot for the Eagles. That's Terry Whitehead again, but now a chance via Hardenby Orwell. Hardenby Orwell in the box. Has to retreat. Looks to give it to Berman. It's kicked out. So Hardenby Orwell snuck by the Catawba defense and is unable to score. Greg Evans gives it up to Hardenby Orwell. Back to Evans. Evans feeds into the box. Looking for Whitehead. Nap to Karsh. Karsh kicks off his foot. And that would have been one of the craziest goals I think we'd ever seen if he was on target, but went out. It's right here. Substitutions for Catawba. Says that missed kick goes wide. Coming in is Tom Savagar and Nico Murillo for Catawba College. Karsh now with the ball. Feeds it to Silva. Silva now going to turn on the Jets, but gets his pocket picked by Bozrovsky. Gives it out to Birch. Birch, one-man wrecking crew, trying to find somebody. Goes off of Evans' foot to Wilkes. It's off of Wilkes' shoulder and out of play. Perfect setup from Birch, and Birch just kind of shrugs his shoulders looking over at Wilkes like, you're right there for the play. And Birch and Wilkes used their speed to connect this year. And this is kind of surprising with this late into the half. Only 11:35 left. Catawba College. Catawba has had 90 shots this season entering this game, with 43 on goal and been held to 0 so far in this one. Plenty of game left, of course, but still very surprising to see the Catawba Indians possibly going to the half without a single shot attempt of any kind. And foul on Whitehead to Chwamley, and maybe a little bit embellishing there, but gets the call. Wilkes is challenged by this defense. Look at this defense just swarming onto the ball as Savagar. Not get there. Ball goes out of play, and Catawba will keep possession. Scheringer kicks it right back to Silva. Now Silva and Scheringer are going to challenge. And good give and go from Hardenby Orwell to Silva. Silva now goes up to Whitehead. Whitehead, nice pass to Silva. Silva passes it back to Whitehead. It goes long. He's looking for Karsh. A heck of a setup that just gets denied. Good attempt by the Eagles, just unable to come up with anything from it. Birch. Gonna kick it back around to Chwamley. Picked off by Hardenby Orwell. He's challenged, and he'll kick it back to Karsgaren. Smart move as Scheringer is right behind them. Less than 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Carson-Newman up 1-0 thanks to the goal. The third minute by Harry Whitehead. Karsh up to Hardenby Orwell. Hardenby Orwell looking for some freedom, gives it up to Silva. Now Silva, what's he going to do with it? Inside the box, Silva one-on-one. Silva gets outside, gets challenged, and Birch picks him off. I think Silva was playing for the foul, looking for another penalty kick. He's been good at drawing those in his career. 5 for 5 in his career. Nice move by Wilkes. Challenge from Evans. Good tackle from Evans, and eventually poked free to Carson-Newman. Great job by Greg Evans to go in clean as Wilkes was going down low. It's a hard play to master, but the captain is smart enough to go in right there. Wilkes went down low. Evans kind of fell over top of him. Able to keep his composure. Now Karsh. Chance to counterattack. Great look from our crew on that play. That one's ripped. Looked like that was by Cody into the box. He was looking for a speedy Silva. That one almost gets away from Tomasi as he throws it, but he gets out to Wilkes in time. Catawba College will reset and go quickly here. Savangar gives it up to Trenton. Trenton tries to feed it to Savagar. It's picked off by the Eagles and then eventually turned over to Birch. Birch and Silva going at it. And off of Wilkes' feet. And with 8-12, we'll have some substitutions coming in. For Catawba is number 24, Lewis Moore. And for the Eagles, number 29, Matus Maya. If you missed the game against Erskine earlier in the season, Matus Maya had an absolutely fantastic header on assist from Yannick Kranz. Maya is a big body, 5'9", 170. He'll look to use all of that frame here to kind of help the Eagles get inside. Got trouble. Here's a pass to Kranz. Kranz back to Karsh. Nice pass. Karsh going to rip one. It's in! Nick Karsh from just outside the box rips it in. It's 2-0. The pass from Kranz and Nick Karsh sets up, rips it, back of the net. 2-0 lead, and Karsh goes and celebrates with the Carson-Newman faithful. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Eagles with 7.5 minutes left in this first half. Well, we thought we had the goal of the year with Ben King's goal last week against Wingate. That may have just topped it with the assist from Kranz. As Matus Maya is down on the pitch now for Carson-Newman. Those get out. Will Evans holding his jaw, and he got an elbowed, but he looks fine and will continue to play. And Nick Karsh. Absolute ripper. Once again, Yannick Kranz. Nice pass. Matus Maya was in on that play with another great pass. And Karsh rips it in the corner pocket to make this a 2-0 game. My goodness. What a game, and that's a chance again for the Eagles here as this first half winds down. Catawba, again, still held without a shot in this first half. Defense has come to play for the Eagles today. Now another chance. Hardenby Orwell gives it off, looking for Berman. Good challenge from the defense of Catawba. That was 24. Lewis Moore, and it'll be a goal kick for the Indians. They're going to take their time here, it looks like, with 5.5 minutes left. You're down 2-0. You kind of need some more urgency, I feel like, from this Catawba club. But you do have a whole other 45 minutes left to get back into this one. But a 2-0 lead for Carson-Newman is big time for really most of any team. But for the way this team plays, it's a tough way to get back into this one. Now, chance on counterattack chance for Catawba, but they're unable to do anything with it, and the ball goes back to the Eagles. Final score from around the South Atlantic Conference: Queens has just knocked off Mars Hill 2-0 in men's soccer, and Lincoln Memorial falls to Newberry 3-2 down to Palmetto State. Coker knocked off Tusculum earlier 2-0. Coker up to number 4 in the country. Big time matchup when the Cobras come up from Hartsville as a corner kick's awarded to the Eagles here in this one against the Catawba College Catawba Indians. Second corner of the day. Quick kick out to Hardenby Orwell. Hardenby Orwell feeds it inside. Goes out to Matus Maya. Maya's going to rip that one and kicks it about 4 rows deep into the parking lot. Matus Maya, was in on that last play. He gave the ball to Crons on his assist, and I think Maya just wanted to be his best Nick Carson impersonation and just a little outside with that one. But give it to the Eagles. They've been not afraid to take shots today. That's shot number 5 today. Carson-Newman only, of course, 2 on goal, and both have been goals. Chance for Catawba College, breakaway chance for Allerton. Gets stolen away by Martin. Karsh looks to find the ball. It goes out of play, and it'll belong to Catawba College with 2:45 left in the first half. Biggest takeaway's got to be this Carson-Newman defense. No shots allowed in the first half. There was a breakaway chance by Trenton that was snuffed out by Cars Guerin. And Catawba's been offsides twice as well. That hasn't helped anything yet, but with 2:22 left and plenty of time in this game, Catawba does need to get something going here. More of an attack and urgency from this Catawba College squad. 2:08 left in the first half as Eagles content to just kind of put it in park and kind of kick it away, but Cars Guerin feeds it long, was looking for Maya. It's head away, they're going to foul on Maya. Said he got underneath Andrew Twomley. I think Maya's not going to get the benefit of the doubt. Trenton's offsides there. with another one-on-one chance of Karsgaren with 100 seconds left in this first half. Maya being a big body, he's not going to get a whole lot of calls to go his way. Fortunately, you see that problem with the women's team here at Carson-Newman is they have 3 players that are 6 feet or taller. Maya challenges. Maya challenged again by Blazrovsky. Is trying to get by him, but could not. Blazrovsky has really done his part for Catawba defense, is not letting anybody get inside on him. And with 1:10 left, that ball is clear. Going to bounce around. Counterattack chance now for the Eagles. Whitehead, or excuse me, Kronz picks it up, gives it that long to Cody.
1 minute. 1 minute remaining.
Cody's looking for Maya. He gets by. Great job shielding, it does Blazrovsky. As Tomasi can slide in there with 52 seconds remaining. 2-0 score. 5 shots in this game, all for Carson-Newman. Both shots that have been on goal have been goals for the Eagles. Catawba looks to set up one counterattack. It's picked off by Silva. Back to Kronz. Kronz has got 32 seconds to see what he can do. Get to Silva. Silva, sliding tackle inside. And picked up by Tomasi. Good sliding tackle by Gage Bernard. He'll get a dap from Silva as say, hey, great defense. Good clean tackle is, look here again. That would have had Silva one-on-one. As the clock ticks down, Catawba's going to try something. Savagar rips one at Kars. Kars blocks it. Kron steps in front. Back to Gabe Martin. And the Eagles have a 2-0 lead at halftime on the Catawba College Catawba Indians, thanks to Harry Whitehead in the 3rd minute of play, and then an absolute screamer by Nick Karsh doubles the lead, and the Eagles have a 2-0 lead and hold Catawba College to 0 shots, the team with the most shots in the South Atlantic Conference entering today in the first half. When we come back, we'll have a recap of the first half with some stats, and we'll look at some scores from around the South Atlantic Conference. You're watching Carson-Newman Men's Soccer on the Eagle Sports Network. About to start the second half here at McCown Field between the Eagles and the Catawba Indians as Carson-Newman holds a 2-0 lead thanks to some fantastic goals. It took just 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Carson-Newman to score their first goal of the game. It's Tylen Silva. The beauty of an assist to Harry Whitehead. And of course, Nick Karsh, you see him celebrating there off this absolute screamer of a goal off an assist. Yannick Karan started it, and Matus Maya with a beautiful, just kind of give and go play off his heel. Made it 2-0 in that biggest stat. Carson-Newman has held Catawba College to 0 shots in this game so far. 5 for Carson-Newman, the 2 that were on goal, both goals. As Gianluca Tommaso has been replaced in net, it looks like, for the second game in a row. Excuse me. No, he will stay out there. There's no netminder out there yet for Catawba College with about a minute and 58 seconds left before the start of the second half. This game, Zach Stifler came in for Catawba College against Anderson, and now it looks like Tomasi will come in as well, as he's in the orange kit, rallying his troops down 2-0. And what started off as a great year for Catawba College, started off 4-0 for 2 draws. They were outscoring opponents 9-2 in those first 4 games, and since then have 2 draws, and right now are staring at their first loss of the season. They've given up in this stretch. They have given up 7 goals and have scored 5. The same lineup will go for both teams as Eagles get set here in this second half against Catawba College, looking for their 3rd straight conference victory. Carson-Newman, as we mentioned, has won 7 straight SAC regular season matches. Last loss was last year against Lincoln Memorial. They, with a win, would move the Eagles to 3-0 in conference play for the first time since 2010. Of course, we talked about Bram Karsgaren can have a record-setting day again. He already moved into a tie for 6th and most goalkeeper starts in school history just by appearing on the pitch. With a win, he moves to a tie for 5th and wins. Or excuse me, sole position of 4th. There's some slippage early, and Matus Maya takes advantage. Finally picked up by Solano Birch. That could have been a disastrous start to this second half for Catawba College. Now a great move by Wilkes. Feeds it in. That's the first shot of the game, right to Karsgaren from Tom Savagar. Well, Catawba College took little time to finally get their first shot in the second half. Took them just about 30 seconds. Now here's a steal by Savagar out to Trenton, and that shot's wide. So 2 quick shots for Catawba. 52 seconds into the second half. Karsgaren's first save of the day. His first save for either team today. Only 2 shots on goal for the Eagles have been the 2 goal scorers. Karsgaren going to take his time. Remember, the Eagles 43 minutes away from a victory, and again, they can allow a goal. You certainly don't want to. But you're in a good spot where you can allow a goal and take your time to run some clock in between plays on some set pieces. But Catawba College now running first is Birch frozen in. Gabe Martin uses that long frame to kick it away. It's a lot more emphasis on attacking the ball for Catawba College in this second half. And to get 3 points, their first South Atlantic Conference win of the season. It took them until the 86th minute against Anderson to score the tying goal by Solano Birch. So, sometime great pass from Hornby Orwell to Silva. Silva gets picked off, however, the ball goes out to Scharinger. Scharinger gives it up to Wilkes. Wilkes looking to use his speed on the outside. Wilkes, nice move by Wilkes. Wilkes is going to rip one long, looking for Trenton. Trenton can't find it. Bounces around and goes out of play before Karsh can get there. So, nice cross into the box. Good idea to get it to your leading goal scorer, Simona Trenton, but nothing doing there for Catawba Indians. Coach Garrett just kind of sends that one long, and no one can get there for the Eagles. And Catawba looks to reset. Here's Birch. Feeds it, picked off by Schmutzer. Up to Silva. Nice move by Silva. And he'll feed it back to Schmutzer. You saw this in the first half from Carson-Newman. They try attack and go back. This time, however, Catawba's coming up to meet them and challenge the Eagles. That's a great pass from Cody to Karsh, and Karsh gets fouled. And I've already seen 2 yellow cards called in this matchup. As look at right here, just a little too more of a challenge there from Birch. That's the 6th foul of the game for the Catawba College Catawba Indians. 5 fouls for Carson-Newman. Little give and go from Silva to Hornby Orwell. Silva now directing the offense. Tries to feed it inside. Was looking for Schmutzer. That one's kicked out of play. Should be a corner for the Eagles. It will be. Third of the day. It'll be taken by Hornby Orwell. Hornby Orwell, quick corner. Gives it up to Silva. Silva looks to go inside. Feeds it in. Looks for Maya. Can't get it there. Hornby Orwell tries to challenge Scharinger. Can't get there. Goes out of play and belongs to Catawba College. So, once again, another corner with a good idea, just not great execution. Maya goes up to Silva and tells him, hey, that's my bad. Throws it in and challenge there. And Smooch is on the ground after a kick by Savagar. And I'm going to say that's a foul. Savagar and Smoocher went to the ball at the same time. I think Smoocher just caught the unlucky end of the cleat. Back up the Cars Garrett. Again, pressure on by Catawba. They need to score at least 2 to come away with at least 1 point from this matchup. Maya tries a little give and go to Krons. Can't get it there. It goes out to Wilkes. Feeds it up to Savagar. Savagar gets challenged by Schmutzer. Schmutzer and Savagar going at it. Schmutzer picks it up. Tries to clear it. It gets deflected off the head of Moore. Bounces around. It's picked up now. Up to Wilkes. Wilkes gets challenged hard by Martin, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. That was a great play by Lewis Moore to get to the speedy Wilkes. He could not corral it, and Gabe Martin playing some great defense. They're going to call a foul there, it looks like. And much to the chagrin of Catawba. And Gage Bernard, the one who committed the foul, really isn't arguing that he committed the foul. It was more of Simona Trenton arguing the call. I think he's arguing it because that wastes some time. The Eagles are going to take their time now if they can to ice this one up 2-0. Looking for Maya. It's picked off by Twomley. Twomley asking for a foul, can't get it. And a charge in from Hornby Orwell onto Tomasi. get there. He clears it. Now that's a loose ball to Trenton. Samoa Trenton now has a chance. One-on-one. Nice move by Trenton. Trenton going to rip one. Goes off the body of Schmutzer out to Birch. Birch gives up to Trenton. Trenton looks to find some space again. Can't. We'll try to kick it out. Good challenge from Silva. Silva and Trenton going back and forth. He'll get cleared away off of Karsh out to Bernard. Bernard finds Savagar. Savagar in the box. Tom Savagar. And was looking for Lewis Moore. Could not find him. So now, as we talked about, no shots in the first half. Less than 8 minutes into the second half, Catawba has 3 shots. That's more of what we thought we were going to see in the first half. We thought we were going to see just both teams just going as hard as they could at the goalkeeper, making a busy day for these goalies, and really hasn't been too difficult of a day until right now. Ball eventually sells to Martin, but it goes off Cron's feet, and stepping in front is Savagar. Savagar tries to give it to Birch. Good tackle by Schmutzer. It's stolen away, eventually gets out to Silva. Silva gives it up to Karsh. Karsh now on the angle, looking for another fantastic strike. It gets away from him, and Karsh can't get there, but he's still on the pressure. Defensive side. Now Cron's going to pressure Allerton, but gives up to Wilkes. Wilkes looking for somebody. Was looking for Birch. It's picked off by Cody. James Cody clears it long down the field. I don't think that's what the Eagles intended. They kind of all looked up to the sky like, okay, let's call an audible here. Now counterattack, free chance now. Looks like Savagar. He's onside. Savagar trips and falls. He tries to rip one. Was looking to score a goal or to possibly pass it to Lewis Moore, but he trips just outside the box, and that one's fed long. And now chance for Theo Hardenby-Orwell. Hardenby-Orwell, corner of the box, waits for his teammates to come meet him. Orwell can't find anything inside, gives it to Karans. Karans going to rip one and just goes over the goal and into Berktar Stadium. So the first shot of the second half for the Eagles is another screamer. And unfortunately, Karans cannot connect. Look at this again. Karans, the one-timer, trying to sneak it in like Karsh did in the first half. So roughly 10 minutes have passed in the second half. And at this point in the contest, we had seen 2 shots total. One was a goal, actually, for Carson-Newman. Now we've seen 4 shots in this half already, 3 of them by Catawba College, who had none in the first half. The only close one was a great challenge by Karsgaren on Trenton. That just was a good sliding tackle by Karsgaren. No shot attempt. Second effort goes to Schmutzer. It eventually goes up to Silva. Back out to Krons to Silva. Goes up to Berman, and Eagles now looking, may, as the clock ticks down, may move into more of a park the bus formation. So they hold everyone back and play defense, and if human error takes control, you can strike. And with the speed on this Carson-Newman team, you cannot make really any mistakes, and that's why Catawba making a mistake of having 0 shot chances. Come to bite them here. Evans just tries to feed it in. It was looking for Karsh, and Karsh may get off the bounce. Great awareness by Nick Karsh. Nick Karsh up the side and tries to make a man miss. He's picked off by Bizrovsky. Give and go from Trenton to Birch. Bizrovsky stolen away by Hardenby-Orwell. Hardenby-Orwell now looking for a chance. Orwell gives up to Karsh. Karsh looking for Maya inside. It goes long, and Tylen Silva can't get there. Oh, actually goes off his feet now for the deflection by Savagar. Catawba will maintain possession until Evans steps in front of it. Now contained by Catawba. Good chance for the Eagles, and they eventually get the ball. Because off of Gavin Martin's foot, that could be dangerous. He'll feed it back to Brom Karjgarin. Hornby Orwell, of course, reigning sack freshman of the year. Looking to add to his impressive career already here at Carson-Newman. Couldn't quite get into Karsh. That one's fed long, and we'll go off the head. Good job by James Cody to keep that one in play. Doesn't work out, however, as it goes to Trenton eventually. Trenton, nice, nifty move. Goes the ball for Crons, but no one's there. Cody now, up step in front is Savagar. Savagar in the box. Tom Savagar now needs to find someone to give it up to. He gives it to Birch. Birch gives it up to Allerton. Allerton's going to kick it, and it'll go into the net just high of the goal, and nothing can connect for Catawba right now. All we've seen so far in this half is if you have parked behind the McCown Field, you might want to consider moving your car. Seen a lot of balls head over the net into the parking lot in the past couple of minutes of action. Good give and go from Hornby Orwell to Karsh. Karsh can't get there in time. Moving quickly will be Bozrovsky. Zabrovsky. Ball just got thrown to no man's land. Maya couldn't get there in time, and Hornby Orwell, I think, threw it off. And I believe Carson-Newman wanted a foul there, but no foul called. Referee says he didn't see anything, so we'll continue to play on. Interesting situation again. 2 yellow cards on Catawba. You can ill afford to go down a man when you're already down 2-0. Bounces around and asks for a handball. No call. Now Catawba's disappointed. Catawba was looking for a handball by Greg Evans. Now up to Wilkes. Looking to set something up for the Indians. Wilkes right at Karjgarin. He falls down. An absolute ripper of a shot. Karjgarin is there to keep Catawba off the scoreboard. Around Birch has a chance now. All attacking more in this half, about 15 minutes have elapsed. Eagles up 2-0 thanks to a pair of goals, one scored by Harry Whitehead early in the game, and an amazing shot from Nick Karsh right before halftime. Chance here. Savagar once again, man, he has made an impact already in this half. And it looks like you're going to see a foul on Catawba, and Catawba's getting frustrated here. It's Birch talking with the referee, and Carson-Newman's content to take their time here as we'll look at this foul. Oh, yeah. Just some tripped up there. Nothing too malicious on that one. Now a chance for Carson-Newman, but the ball gets away from Karsh. He was looking for Maya. Get there in time. .48-44 left in this one. He goes up 2-0. looking to add to their lead. Got a 3-0 in the conference, first time since 2010. There's a chance there for Savagar, but they're going to say he was offsides. That was a close one. You can see between Schmutzer, Cody, and Martin, all three of them asking who you need to mark Savagar. He has been sneaky this half. Not many times you hear a 6'1" man called sneaky, but Savagar has been able to sneak behind the defense and at least create chances for Catawba. That's a fourth offsides today for Catawba. That has not helped them at all today, as they've had some one-on-ones with the keeper just like that one. Charging was Wilkes there, and Catawba's going to play some defense. Great job of Savagar stepping in front. We've seen goals scored on Karsgarin in that fashion. But now this makes a breakaway chance for the Eagles. Silva finds Hardenby Orwell and just did not get enough touch on that pass. Would have had him one-on-one with the keeper and just could not get enough touch. I believe he overran the ball a little bit. And Hardenby Orwell couldn't run in time. A great defensive play by Berman. Slows down Catawba for a minute, but here come Catawba Indians quickly. Now stolen away by Silva. Back to Greg Evans, and you can hear Carson-Newman bench saying, hey, slow it down, slow it down. Under 30 minutes, you're probably going to start seeing Carson-Newman slow down more and more and take whatever chances they can get. And there's a foul on Birch, and that might be another card. On the card, Karsh gets fouled, and talking to Birch, the referee has his card out, hasn't put it up yet. Or actually, that's his whistle. His whistle's the same color as a yellow card. My apologies. Yep, tackle from behind. So that's even worse for Catawba. It just runs clock. About 20 seconds ran off the clock there, and 26 and a half minutes left in this contest. That's the 10th foul of the day on Catawba, 5 on Carson-Newman. So fairly clean game for the Eagles, and I think Stephen Lyons would greatly appreciates that. Goes off of Maya to Silva. Now get up to Karsh. Karsh tries to create some offense. Gives it back to Silva. It's poked away and cleared by Serrano. Swinging a miss by Savagar, but that one gets by Schmutzer, and it's a race for the ball. And Karsgarin's going to get there first, and he picks it up. And we'll hightail it out of there before Savagar can have a chance. Seen several times, Karsgarin has just made some plays that make you question him at times. But again, he can move in the fourth all-time in wins if the Eagles hold on for the next 25 and a half minutes. Karsgarin has been efficient in his entire career. His sun starts to set here in Mossy Creek. Could be setting on Catawba's chances for a win. That one's picked off by Silva. Silva's got a chance. Feeds it to Hardenby Orwell. Hardenby Orwell is going to rip one and just misses. A beautiful chance for Theo Hardenby Orwell off the breakaway from Tylen Silva. So we look here. Breakaway chance. Hardenby Orwell gets open, just cannot connect. And now Harry Whitehead back into the game for the Eagles. Of course, he scored the first goal, and at one point had the only shots of the contest. 2-0 game, 24-42 left in this one. That one's stolen away by Berman and just challenged hard by Trenton. And they're going to call a foul on Carson-Newman there. Simona Trenton, leading scorer for this team, has 2 shots today, both in the second half. Surprised to see him held without a shot as well. He is toward the top of the conference in that category. Tied for first, tied for first in the sack and shots coming into this game at 31. Now it's 33 on the year. 13 of those had been on goal. That one's fed into the box. Karsgarin steps in front. Now the dangerous ball to Wilkes, but punches it away. Good job by Karsgarin. His big frame there. Birch going to rip that one right to Karsgarin. He can handle it. That was more of a cross and instead of a shot. I don't think they'll count that one as a shot, but that was a dangerous chance. Karsgarian again. He's going to take his time. Savagar's going to watch him, but he can take his time, can the keeper, before picking the ball up. It's just smart heads-up play by the Dutchman. Karsgarian gives up to Evans, and Trenton was coming in hot for Greg Evans, but could not get there. Cleared out, chance for Whitehead again. Whitehead has got a chance, gets it, his pocket picked. Hardenby Orwell picks it up. Hardenby Orwell has a chance, up to Whitehead, poked away. Great defensive effort by Gage Bernard. He's made 2 great stops. The 11th hour for Catawba, and now Trenton has a chance. He gets tackled hard, no call from Kronz, as Catawba's bench is not happy about that one. Silva looking for Karsh, and another challenge from Bernard. Feeding along to Trenton does Allerton. It goes too far. And Karsgarian once again going to take his time, and Savagar going to try to walk up into the box, and Karsgarian picks it up. And that wasted about 10 seconds. So that's 10 seconds of time where Catawba could do nothing to increase their efforts, trying to score a goal. Nifty move from Hardenby Orwell to give it to Silva, but it's picked up by Zabrovsky. Zabrovsky looking for Trenton, headed away by Martin. Back to Zabrovsky. Now out to Schmutzer, up to Karsh. Karsh gives it to Silva. It's a chance for the Eagles. Silva, nice move, up to Karsh. Karsh avoids the tackle by Zabrovsky, but throws him off just enough. Karsh feeds it inside, goes over Hardenby Orwell's head. Go out of play. Ball goes to Catawba College. .21:30 left in this contest. Carson-Newman looking for their first 3-0 start in conference play since 2010. Catawba still looking for their first win in conference play of the season. This would be Catawba's first loss of the year. This Catawba's also only their second road game of the season. A lot of home matches. Their other road match was a win over USC Aiken. It took 2 overtimes to knock off the Pacers. 20 minutes left now, and Carson-Newman, there you go. As slow as they can, and see here James Cody trying to call for Karsgarian. He can't find him, but he finds Hardenby Orwell. Up to Brosman, nice pass to Kronz. Kronz can't control it, but he's able to corral it enough and gets it off the foot of the Catawba defender, Lewis Moore. And Carson-Newman can reset, take their time. Or Berman will get the ball and throw it in. You're seeing some smart soccer plays. That's Carson-Newman team. That's why they've been so successful under Stephen Lyons in his time here. It's picked off by Evans. Evans missed out on this record for Evans. My apologies, I won't mention it. He has tied Rick Davis and Daniel Wilkins for 6th most games started in a career. That's 61. A couple of records, a trio of records have been broken today, or have seen record books change today. So that's an offsides call for Catawba. Giving Danielle Whaley, the SID for men's soccer, some work to do tonight. There's Tylen Silva moving into the top 5 in program history for assists. A tie with Patrick O'Leary, 16, and he'd love to move into sole possession of 5th place with another assist here late. But that's a chance for Savagar. It's deflected off of Gabe Martin. That's a great play by Gabe Martin to sneak in there and kick it out to Schmutzer. Now Greg Evans gets challenged and eventually kick it back out to Karsgarian with 18:55 left. Eagles will reset. So Carson-Newman just 2 shots in this half. And I think, normally you wouldn't like that. But when you have a 2-0 lead, you can kind of do whatever you want for a while. On the offensive side, as Karsh trips up at midfield and can't get to that one. He'll come up fine. Catawba took some time to throw this one in. Again, time ticking away. You're under 20 minutes. You've seen the effort, the more aggressive attack by Catawba. As a foul called on Carson-Newman. Catawba with 5 shots in this half. Again, none of this in the first half. 2 on goal. As Cody steps in front of that one, we'll give it back up to Karsh-Garen. Karsh-Garen going to rip that one toward us up in the press box. Getting in front of it is Whitehead out to Hardenby Orwell. Great job by Whitehead. Now cleared away by Cody. Silva cannot get to it, however, and Allerton can. Chance for Catawba College. Onside is Scheringer. Gives it back up to Moore. Up to Scheringer. Gets deflected off of Kronz. Out of play. And substitutions finally for the Catawba Indians and the Eagles. That is number 10, Nico Murillo, coming in for number 7, Malik Wilkes. That's an interesting substitution. So Wilkes has been very speedy, been able to get behind the defense at times today, but Murillo is a bigger body, so I guess it sets up for some corner kick opportunities. That one sailing out of bounds through the parking lot of the MSAC from Trenton. Once again, this is just more time that's going to tick off this clock. The referee allows it. It's been 10 seconds now, and Karsh-Garen just dropped the ball. Smoocher gives it up to Silva as the defensive pressure has turned up for Catawba College. Charging in is Allerton, but it gets cleared away by Karsh-Garen. Eventually that ball is going to bounce back to Schmutzer. Goes off of Karsh. It's picked off. And cleared away on the other side of the pitch. Great job by Carson-Newman and Nick Karsh to get the ball on the other side of the pitch. Now, Catawba now. Nice move by Birch. He gets around Schmutzer, but Silva's right there to pick it up, and a counterattack is on. Silva gives it up to Karsh. Karsh steps over the ball, gets around Murillo. Nice spin move by Karsh, and ball gets poked around. Karsh eventually gets it stolen from him by who else? Gage Bernard. And Savinger, and they're going to call a foul on Catawba. Yes, they're going to call a foul on Catawba, and Savinger very frustrated, and Hardenby Orwell going to go quick, or excuse me, Schmutzer going to go quick. You see in the distance the Carson women's team walking up to the pitch. They will take on Catawba College at 7:30 p.m. That should be a fun matchup. There's a foul, and that looks like you're going to see possibly a card. No, but it's just an injury check. It looks like a card on, yes, a card on Carson-Newman's number 5, Harry Whitehead. Interesting enough, live, it kind of looked like to me, Thea Hardenby Orwell had more of a contact. Let's look again and see. That one's going to get cleared away, and ball belong to, excuse me, offsides on Catawba. Foul, a yellow card on Whitehead. That's the first yellow card of the day on the Carson-Newman. Has played a pretty clean game. 8 fouls for the Eagles, 11 on Catawba. They have 2 yellow cards, so Carson-Newman can take their time again. 14:40 left. Ball goes long up to Karsh. Karsh feeds it to Silva. Back to Karsh. Nice give and go play. Karsh up the side. Makes a nice move. Ball gets deflected. He's challenged by Bernard. It's eventually picked off by Schwamley and given up to Allerton. Allerton finds Trenton. And eventually Trenton tries to get it. Good defensive effort from Berman. Now Trenton looks inside to Morelli. Is kicked away. Good defensive effort from Cody. Cleared away, but here comes the counterattack once again. Birch. Up the sideline. Looking for a red card. They won't get, or looking for a handball. They won't get the call, and ball goes out to the Eagles. Savagar couldn't control it. Now Whitehead looking for his second goal of the contest. Finds Hardenby Orwell, and just goes over Hardenby Orwell and out of play. It would have been Hardenby Orwell one-on-one once again. 13:29 left. A 3-0 deficit would have been tough for really any team to overcome. As that one's picked away. Hardenby Orwell has a chance. Nice move. Hardenby Orwell, and it gets picked up by Tomasi. And they're going to check on Hardenby Orwell and Tomasi as clock will stop here. And Tomasi holding his arm. He's going to run right to the trainer, and it's not a good sign. I think Tomasi knows what's wrong with him as Hardenby Orwell is still down the pitch. Tomasi holding his finger. Eagles will see what's happening here. Hopefully Hardenby Orwell is okay. 13:08 left. You hate to see anybody, and Tomasi now looking for some tape over on the Catawba sideline, and Hardenby Orwell is up. Great effort by trainer Lacey Gazelle. Was calling the action, of course. Was training for the women's team, and so we'll have to see what substitutions are made here, if any, for both teams. It looks like nothing yet for Carson-Newman that I can see. Of course, Hardenby Orwell still on the pitch, and now we have Tomasi is going to come back in. He just gets his hand taped up, and Tomasi's going to stay in, and Hardenby Orwell is going to come off the pitch. Let's see. And Hardenby Orwell is going to re-enter, so he looks to be fine. So good job by the training staff. I'm glad to see Hardenby Orwell and Tomasi okay with 12:55 left in this one. Here's a breakaway chance for Whitehead. Good job by Zabrowski to get in front of that one. Zabrowski, of course, probably this defensive MVP today. He has made the chances few for Carson-Newman. Only 2 shots have been on goal for the Eagles, but again, if those shots have been goals, that's been the difference maker. Evans feeds up the Crons. Crons looks for Hardenby Orwell, can't get to him. Tried to find Silva, that gets picked off, and now it goes to Birch. Great defensive effort by Murillo. Fed long. The sideline for Catawba, and Trenton will corral the ball near midfield as time starts to tick away. Murillo on the Southland Conference logo will give it up to Allerton. Allerton has to feed it back. Catawba has to reset. This is not a time that the Indians can waste here. There's only 11 minutes left, roughly. They're down 2-0. That one's stolen away and just kicked long by Silva. And I think Silva, he was looking for Whitehead and Orwell, but couldn't get there. Silva a header attempt, and he's frustrated at himself. He's trying to find Hardenby Orwell. There's been chances to get the ball to him one-on-one. Just haven't been able to connect. Poked away by Berman is that one, and that ball will stay with Catawba College with 11:26 left. Carson looking to hold on for their 3rd straight conference victory. 4th straight victory overall. Great effort, and that will ball's going to belong to the Eagles, and substitution coming in. I believe. So the Eagles are going to take their time, and yes, now they're going to come in. So you'll see Tim Vercelli come in now. Carson-Newman took all the time in the world they could before making that substitution. As you'll see, Tylen Silva walk off the pitch. Goes into the top 5 in assists. Tim Vercelli in, and now Quentin Carls also in for the Eagles. Coming in for Yannick Kranz. Kranz, a very good day today, helped and assist as well. So Eagles now playing a more defensive-minded effort with under 11 minutes to go in this one from McCown Field. Header eventually corralled by Cody. Karsh kicks it up long, and it can't get to Carls in time. Catawba now looking to counterattack. 10.5 minutes left to get at least a point on the board and start thinking about a draw. You've got to get something here. They've had 5 shots in this half, 2 on goal. They've been unable to connect here in this one. Karsgaren will come out and grab that one. And again, Karsgaren going to play some basketball for a little bit, bounce the ball around until he can find someone open. He finds Greg Evans open quickly, so not as much time wasted off of that clock, but we're in single digits in the minutes now. It's the Eagles looking to lock up this victory. Be a record-breaking day for Bram Karsgaren. It would be a monumental day for the Eagles, moving to 3-0 for the first time in 11 seasons. That goes out of bounds. Both teams going to argue about it for a bit, and eventually the ball will go to Catawba. And once again, the arguing, and Catawba, you've seen them make some of these plays mentally where they choose to argue, choose to waste time instead of just going after it and playing without thinking. You know, sometimes you just have to go out and execute. That ball gets by Allerton. That's dangerous to Karsh. Allerton's able to kick it away back to Tomasi. Now Catawba in dire straits as the pressure's turned up for Carson-Newman now. Interesting choice of attack by his team as Schmutzer gets in there, holding his knee now. I believe that's Theo Hornby Orwell again down, but gets out to Whitehead. Good challenge by Zabrowski. Whitehead going to try to feed inside, looks for Carls, but can't find him, and he'll go out of play, and Hornby Orwell is back up. And with 8:15 left, the Eagles looking to close this one out. Get the win. Desperate times now for Catawba. Here comes Birch. That's who you want to get the ball to right now. He's looking for Savagar in the box. Tries to find him. It's the play off of Karsgaren right at Savagar. Karsgaren grabs it and saves it with 7:53 left. That was probably the best chance Catawba was going to get in these last 10 minutes of this Carson-Newman defense. And Karsgaren comes a wall and stands his ground there. Great job by Karsgaren. Seven and a half minutes left. So we'll bounce around, and Eagles are going to take their time. Evans going to kick it all the way back to Karsgaren with 7:07 left on this clock. Eagles can do whatever they want. As long as you don't give up a goal, you can really just practice your passing in the backfield. As Hornby Orwell comes up limping a bit on that long pass. Eventually it goes out to Vercelli, but it's picked off. Good move by Greg Evans. And they're going to call a foul on Evans. He grabbed the back of the jersey of Savagar. So would have been, was a heck of an effort by Evans, but a little too handsy. 6.5 minutes left in this one. again. Carson-Newman going to take his time. 6:04 left. And, of course, you hear Catawba coach Ken Hassler telling everybody, just drop back. You know what they're going to do at this moment. They're going to kick it as far as they can, try to keep it on this side of the pitch. Well, and that ball gets free. Vercelli can't get there. He's going to challenge Tomasi. It's cleared long, and Evans corrals it up the Karsh, back to Evans. Eagles, and they're going to play back. So I wonder if the Eagles are going to play some defensive-minded football. And here it is, last 5.5 minutes there. Not going to take counter attack. That bounces off the head of a tall defender. It clears away as Whitehead had a chance at that one. Evans can control that one. Karsh grabs it and falls down. They call foul on Birch. Birch frustrated, and his teammate Allerton saying, don't complain. There's 5 minutes left. Don't do anything you want to regret. As you can look here. Yeah, it's a little bit too hard on the back of the leg. Does Birch. Great look at that one. So under 5 minutes left. Carson-Newman looking to wrap up another South Atlantic Conference victory. Start 3-0 in the conference. Be a huge start. Again, first time in 11 years that has happened. Four and a half minutes left now. It's the women's team getting ready and back of the end zone. Allen stolen by Schmutzer. Morgan get the Savagar. 4:20 left. Desperation time for Catawba. Oh, a nice pass. Savagar one-on-one. Gets by Carson-Newman, and there's a goal for the Catawba Indians. And it gets interesting now with 4:10 left in this contest. It was the 86th minute against Anderson that Catawba scored the game-tying goal. And now in the 86th minute of this one, the Catawba Indians score one to cut the lead. Tom Savagar, we were waiting for him all day and just gets by Carson-Newman. Of course, you're going to see clock's going to run. They're going to try to have the clock to run. Will the Eagles, but that was a great job. That was a great pass by Nico Murillo. Now a foul on. And Tylen Silva, much to his chagrin, it's a foul. And again, all this arguing just kind of runs some clock off. And that foul, actually, the ball's going to go to Carson-Newman. I think Carson-Newman needs to realize that if you get a yellow card there on Catawba, the clock stops. So a much smarter place for the foul. The clock rolls 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Carson-Newman looking to hold on for this victory. And the clock's going to stop now as Tylen Silva complaining about the distance between himself and Andrew Twomley on this free kick, and the clock will stop. 3:16. It will roll again now quickly. That one's cleared away by Zarofsky. Bounces around. Silva grabs it. Gets up to Krons. Krons up to Cody. Bounces away. White has got a chance. Whitehead challenged hard. He gets tackled down. No foul called. Ball goes out of play. They're going to call a goal kick with 2:52 left. So we'll look at this challenge here by Twomley on to Whitehead. Nothing there really to warrant a foul. That ball's going to kick in the air again. Carson-Newman's going to try to kick the ball as long as they can down the field. Silva's able to corral it, and now as long as the ball stays on this side of the field, Carson-Newman's going to try to get to the corner, get some corner kicks, and take some time off. Tries to feed it. It goes off of the fender for Catawba, but it goes to Tomasi. And just straddles the line. 2:19 left in regulation here. Carson-Newman looking to hold on for a victory. There was a chance again from Savagar, but it bounced away. Carson-Newman is able to corral it. Evans misses. It's a battle between him and Allerton. Bounces around and goes out to Savagar. Savagar, chance at another goal. Kicked up in the air by Martin with 2 minutes left here in regulation. Bounces around, will eventually go to Berman. And the ball will stay with Catawba with 1:50 left. Now chance for Allerton. Allerton goes down hard, no foul called. Taken away by Vercelli, picked up by Savagar. Out of play, and that ball is going to belong with Catawba. They'll throw it in with 95 seconds left. Carson-Newman looking to hold on to the victory. Kranz, nice move by Birch, but he can't get through, and now the ball's out to Silva. Silva gets the pass, gives it up to Vercelli. Minute 20 left. Vercelli gets his pocket picked. It gets cleared out. Let's throw Carson-Newman. Carson-Newman's going to take their time here on the throw-in with 1:11 left on the clock. Berman's going to come all the way up from midfield. The clock's going to continue to roll as we hit the 60-second mark.
1 minute remaining.
Whitehead goes to the corner. Smart play. Going to try to earn a corner kick or at least make Catawba do a goal kick. Kicked out of play. He'll stay, and that's going to be a corner kick for Carson-Newman. Carson-Newman can effectively milk this clock for all it's worth. There is 42 seconds. Nobody is walking toward the ball right now. Tylen Silva eventually will set up. 33 seconds left. There's literally no player in the box for Carson-Newman. They know what the goal is. Just keep getting corners, keep running the clock. Allen's poked free for a goal kick with 22 seconds left. I believe, or excuse me, that will be another corner to Silva with 14 seconds left. And Silva's going to take his time. As we're at 10 seconds, they're going to stand there. Ball gives off to Whitehead. It's a goal kick, but unfortunately Catawba kicks it down the pitch before they can get back to their goalie. And Carson-Newman gets 2 goals in the first half from Harry Whitehead and from Nick Karsh, and they hold on to knock off Catawba 2-1 and earn their 3rd straight South Atlantic Conference victory and start 3-0 in the South Atlantic Conference for the first time since 2010. Just a heck of a game today by this Carson-Newman defense. Didn't allow a single shot in the first half. Allowed 7 in the second half, and despite the late goal, Carson-Newman's able to hold on to win 2-1. Earn this victory, a big-time conference win over the previously unbeaten Catawba College, Catawba Indians. Well, that's going to do it here for this matchup in Mossy Creek as Carson-Newman rolls to 3-0 on the season in the South Atlantic Conference. For our entire crew, we want to thank you for watching and stick with us as we'll be back at 7:30 p.m. as the Carson-Newman women's soccer team takes on the Catawba College Catawba Indians in what should be a thrilling matchup. Once again, your final score, Carson-Newman 2, Catawba College 1, here on the Eagle Sports Network.